Hello, good morning, children. Today we are going to start new chapter number 5. See, students, we have already done chapter number 1, nature, purpose, and scope of business, and chapter number 3, business service 2. Now we are start chapter number 5, forms of business organization, part 1. So, just wait. See. So what we learn in this chapter? So we studied about business organization like sole proprietorship, then HUF and partnership. In this chapter, we learn about the three forms of business organization: sole proprietorship, Hindu undivided family, and partnership. And in next chapter, we learn other like companies, joint stock companies, etc. So start this chapter. Are you ready all? Okay, good. Uh, Start this chapter. Before this start this chapter, I tell you, please do your fun note regularly because already 2 chapters we have done. So please, you done in your fun note that 2 chapters. Introduction. Along with the time, the needs of man has increased and become varied. Man became incapable to satisfy the needs by himself, so he needed the help of others people. Thus the trading activity began through barter system. Therefore a class of people came into existence in society who started spending time and energy to satisfy the needs of people by exchanging activities of goods, service and money. This class was called trader. For activities of purchase and sale, they introduced a different arrangement. Thus, different forms of business organization such as sole proprietorship, partnership, HUF, cooperative society, joint stock company came into existence one after the other. First para is not that much important, but it is basic knowledge of this chapter. First, sole proprietorship. What is sole proprietorship? Anyone know? Any business start by single all the business handled by single person and that business run by only a single person. That is called sole proprietor and that type of business is called sole proprietorship. The form of sole proprietorship is the oldest and simple than other form of business. Please underline oldest and simple than other form of business organization. This form came into existence right from the beginning of trading. In the rapidly changing world, various forms of business came into existence and got developed. but this oldest and simple form or system is still in existence. That means it is the oldest and simple form other than the other form of business organization, and this form came into existence right from the very beginning of trading. But due to uh, speedily changing the world, other forms of business came into existence and developed. But still, uh, this one is in existence, meaning please underline as a define or meaning. Sole proprietorship is such a form in which the firm is owned, managed, and controlled by only one person. You just line on, manage, and control. Hey students, you know how to form the sentence. So you learn just three words: on, manage, and control. So sentence is automatically formed. Sole proprietorship is such a form in which the firm is owned, managed, and controlled by only one person. Only one person invests capital, start and develop business, and look after the activities of business like purchase, sale, and the result of business profit loss are borne by him only. In this type of business firm organization, only one person start business, then develop business, then look after the sales, purchase, and also bear the risk and reward of business by himself only. So, according to Lewis and Henry, sole proprietorship is such a form of business organization in which there is only one person at the top who is responsible, who direct the activities of business and bear the risk of failure only by himself, because he or she is only one in business. So, what obvious of failure or risk or loss is a bear by only himself. From the definition, one can understand that a lone trader, also a proprietor, is only and wholly responsible. All business is carried out under his direction, and risk of business, like loss or insolvency, rest on his shoulders only. Understood? In starting, I explained the meaning of sole proprietorship, right? So I hope now you understood perfectly. Then characteristics. Before that, you underline this meaning and read. Characteristics. Characteristics of sole proprietorship. Total 8 characteristics are here. First, easy to establish because only single person are doing a business. So not a tough process of establishment is exist. It is very easy, and complexity of law do not affect, and any person can start lawful trading at any place of his liking. Then capital. In sole proprietorship, the owner himself invests the capital. If he finds the capital insufficient, then he can run business by borrowed money also. So the owner himself is responsible to return this borrowed money. Then the third is power of administration. So totally, power of advantage is hand of sole proprietor because he is the only one who direct and handle the business. So sole proprietor himself is the administrator of the business. So generally the owner himself look after the purchase, sale, collection, accounting work and other activities. He himself is the owner of business and he himself is the manager. If needed, then help can be taken from the member of family or relatives or the salaried person. Understood? It is very simple. Huh? Then freedom of work and quick decision. How? See, um, just think if two or more person doing a business, then in that type of business, mutual agree, I mean consent is required, and also decision is taken by all the persons. So it is time consuming and also don't have freedom or don't have freedom. So, right. So that's why in sole proprietorship, a single person doing a business and only that the reason for the freedom of work and quick division because all the decisions taken by himself only and no one other person can interfere in him or her decision. So, sole proprietor has a freedom regarding the business. He performs the activity of business with his intelligence and experience under the total freedom. And as he himself is the owner and he can take the quick decision with easy. But all the time it is not beneficial. All the time it is not beneficial. Then the liability. Liability for the payment of debt is unlimited for the sole proprietor. And the unlimited liability means that for the payment of debt and creditor can put claim on personal properties of sole proprietor in the court of law. Like if loss and debt payment is high and the sole proprietor have not that much profit and not that much asset in his business, so for payment of that debt he can claim on his personal property. That means he have to sell the personal property and pay to the creditors and payment of other debts also. So in sole proprietorship, liability is unlimited. In other words, it can be said that when sole proprietor incur a loss in business, debt go on increasing, and for payment of debt, if there are insufficient funds, then sole proprietor is liable to pay total debts from his personal properties. Clear? Good. Then maintenance of secrecy. So in sole proprietorship, as a trader is a sole owner of the business. So secrecy is maintained. Then personal contact. In sole proprietorship, as the working area of business is limited, personal contact with customer can be maintained. So by keeping focus on changing taste of customer, their requirement, fashion, demand, etc., more satisfaction can be given to customer. See, in this type of business organization, working area is limited because business is handled by only a single person. So personal contact with customer can be maintained because working area is not too much large. That's why personal contact with customer can be maintained, and that's why the keeping focus on changing taste of customer, the requirements, fashion demands. So more satisfaction can be given to customer. Then the 8, centralization of ownership and management. In sole proprietorship, the owner himself is the managed, thus there is centralization in ownership and management. In other business organization, the owner and management are different entities. In this business firm, owner is the manager, owner is the employee, and owner is the owner, right? So that's why in this type of business firm, there is centralization in ownership and management is only of same. So in other firm organization, owner and management are different entities. Clear? Understood? See, here we speak all the characteristics had points 2 times. And you all speaking with me loudly, huh? At your home. Easy to establish, capital, power of administration, freedom of work and quick division, liability, maintenance of secrecy, personal contact, centralization of ownership and management. Again, easy to establish, capital, power of administration, freedom of work and quick decision, then the liability, maintenance of secrecy, personal contact, centralization of ownership and management. Now your turn. Read in detail. Just one time read in detail. I scroll my screen so you can read easily. You can also read from your textbook. Try to learn head points at now. Detail just you go through and give a plain reading, then it's okay. But head points you learn right now. Done? Speed करो. Fast. Complete please. Then we are moving on next topic, that is advantage. Okay, done? Good. So now we start the advantage of sole proprietorship. 8. And then 6 are the limitations of sole proprietorship. First, the advantage. See students, in this chapter so many head points. So please learn daily. I mean to say, um, learn with every lecture. Otherwise, at last, you can't learn all the head points. First, easy to establishment process. See students, explanations are the same in characteristics, advantage or disadvantage. I mean to say limitations. So detail we just read easy establishment process. The process of establishing the sole proprietary firm is simple. There is no need to prepare any document. There is no need to pass through any difficult and complex process of law. Therefore, any person with limited capital, uneducated, or having general capability can start the business. Clear? Uh, I already explaining characteristics. Then less capital. Less capital is an important characteristic and is a specific advantage of sole proprietorship. Any sole proprietor can start the business with less capital. If additional funds are required, then he can bring the borrowed money and invest in business. See, maintenance of secrecy. Mostly points are the same. It is advantageous for the businessman to maintain business secrecy. Please underline. In sole proprietorship, as the only one person has all authority, he can maintain secrecy relating to the business transaction accounts and the key factor of the business. As the compared to the other form of business organization, in this form secrecy is better maintained. Then the quick decision. See, is the establishment, capital, maintenance of secrecy, quick division, personal contacts, all are the same points with like characteristics. Now, quick decision is a sole proprietor is the chief decision maker regarding the matter related to the business. So he can take a quick decision regarding important matters of business because he not need to ask anyone other. He can take quick decision according to trends in market and changing circumstances. Then personal contact. In sole proprietorship, there is a centralized ownership of business and management. So owner himself act as a manager and maintain the personal and live contact with customer, employee and creditors. Because in this type of business, limited criteria are available. So personal contact can be maintained. And according to changing business trend, fashion and customer preference, he can make required change in production and distribution system and keep his market safe. So it is very big advantage for us. I mean, for the sole proprietor. See students, when we do any subject of commerce stream like account, eco or OC, then at that time you have to meet a businessman, a trader, company owner, right? And thought like a business trader, businessman, company owner, same as. So you learn and you understood easily. Sixth point, flexibility. In sole proprietorship, the owner can make required changes according to changing business environment. Due to quick decision and constant awareness, he can bring flexibility to business. 7. Less tax burden. Income of sole proprietorship is the income of the owner. So personal, the norms of taxation are applicable to him. Generally, as the size of sole proprietorship is small, so the income is also less. Therefore, the burden of income tax is less. Then point number 8, less legal restriction. Compared to other form of business organization, in sole proprietorship, less legal restriction. There is no need to approval from anybody to increase or decrease the capital. And the size of business is small, so legal restrictions are also less. And in 7 point, we see the less tax burden because income of owner only. And the personal norms of taxation are applicable to him. So generally the size of sole proprietor is small, so income is also less and then the tax burden is less. So now we done total 8 advantage of sole proprietorship. First one is SE establishment process. Second is the less capital. Third, maintenance of secrecy. Fourth, quick decision. Fifth, personal contact. Sixth, flexibility. 7. Less tax burden. 8. Less legal restriction. Here we done this topic. See, uh, I give you a 2 minutes. Please read. Please read the head points 2 to 3 times and try to learn right now. And detail just you give a plain reading. Done. Fast read, please. Done. Okay, good. So here we done today's topic. Disadvantage or limitations we will learn in next lecture. So in today's lecture we have discussed about what is sole proprietorship, meaning of sole proprietorship, define and basic idea of sole proprietorship. Then we learn characteristics. Total 8 characteristics are there in sole proprietorship. Easy to establishment, capital, power of admin, freedom of work and quick decision, then liability, maintenance of secrecy, personal contact, centralization of ownership and management. Then advantage. There are also 8: easy establishment, less capital, maintenance of secrecy, decision, quick decision, personal contact, flexibility, less tax burden, and less legal restriction. Please learn these questions in your homework and also write meaning of sole proprietorship according to Lewis and Henry, and also the first one definition. So two definition or meaning of sole proprietorship you write in your homework. Then write the characteristics in head points book. You write only head points, and your fair note you write 1 or 2 points in each head points because it is very small answer. Then write advantage of sole proprietorship. In your head points book, you write 2 head points, and your fair note, you write both the questions with detailed information. If you don't write now in your fair note, then after completion this chapter, you have to write full exercise. So better है आप अभी से start कर दो ये. And at last, when we will finish this chapter, so from the exercise, you skip the questions which have you right now. Okay, I hope you note down the homework and do regular and submit with your class submit to your class teacher. Okay, so here we done today's lecture. Goodbye everyone.